Hi guys, welcome back. This is Project Life Week 37. I am starting with my photos as usual, and this week I am using the October Life Crafted kit from Citrus Twist. So I'm going through some of these cards here, and you will have seen me use some of these cards already this month. I filmed this video way back at the start of the month before I had actually used the kit, which is why you're seeing things that I've already used in here. Now I'm picking out a couple of cards, kind of warmer toned cards. I really loved some of the like corals and oranges and peaches in this kit, so I decided to pick out those two. The photo with my little cat Meow on it, it almost fits perfectly enough in the square of that 3x4, so I'm just going to go with it. I don't want to reprint the photo. It doesn't perfectly fit, but it's going to be good enough. The other thing I've done is in the spot for my journaling card this week, I've used one card that from the kit that's kind of like prompts. I'm really into kind of prompt journaling. I was going to say at the moment, but I mean always. I'm always into prompt journaling. So I use that little card in there instead of doing any sort of proper journaling this week. Now I used one of the 6x4 cards from the kit down the bottom, this peachy coloured one. But as you can see, I'm literally covering up all of the sentiment that's on that card. I just really loved the colour. And I also went into my stash and just pulled out a plain white 4x6 card, and I'll do something with some pattern paper on there, I think. Now I'm going through some of the die cuts from this kit. The actual die cuts didn't arrive in time to send out the design team kits, so mine are all handmade on my silhouette. We're using the digital printables, which is awesome. You can just use all of them, or you can print out the ones that you really want. Special side note, if you upgrade your Silhouette software to version 4.4, when you import PNG files, it automatically traces a cut line around it, so it makes it even easier to do. So I went through all of those little die cut pieces there and pulled out a few that I think I'll use. They're mostly all sort of little square tiny words really, which works nicely. And you'll see I end up kind of accidentally, well, I don't know if it's accidentally, I didn't intend to create a recipe for embellishing these cards, but that's what I end up doing. So the first 3x4 card there, I stuck down one of the die cuts and I added one of those gorgeous little pink tiny word stickers. And then I used these really pretty teal green alphas. They're puffy sticker alphas, but they are super, super thin. They're gorgeous. And I used that to kind of add an extra word to the card, and that's a combination that I'm gonna end up repeating several times, a lot of times on this card, you'll see. But like I said, I didn't actually intend to start out doing that. So for this 4x6 photo here, I started with a stamp from the stamp set. I stamped it in the one spot on this photo that was actually big enough to stamp the sentiment in. I stamped directly on my photo because I print at home with Canon Photo Glossy 2 paper, which makes stamping onto the photos super, super easy. I'm just using Memento Tuxedo black ink. And then I added a label on top of that and stamped a second sentiment from that stamp set on top of the label. And I'm going to end up adding to that later on. Now I did add one label to my 3x4 photo. It's not a label, sorry, it's well kind of a label. It's one of the die cuts in a label shape. I had trialed a couple of ones on there and I ended up going with this yellow just because it stood off that kind of busy leafy background. Now my little photo of Meow, I just stuck it down. I kind of offset it on the square so it looks purposeful that it doesn't fit. And then I'm gonna just glue down everything that I've placed onto this 4x6 so that I cover up all of that sentiment there using one of the larger labels from the die cuts and also a little flag sentiment there. And then I'm gonna add some stamps in here. It says my happy. And then this is where I sort of take that kind of recipe and roll with it, because I wanted to say my happy and then add the word coffee with these same alphas, which means that I've repeated the same thing twice. So I've used, die cuts and labels and stickers and stamps with these alphas. So kind of the Designer in me wants to do that at least one more time now, because I find the rule of 3 is really handy for keeping consistency in a spread. So I know that I want to do it one more time at least somewhere. So here I'm working on my 4x6 photo, which technically is my last photo to work on in this spread. So I figure it's probably going to have to be here. I'm just layering up some die cuts, and when I flipped over this yellow one to adhere it, I just liked the white so much more. It just helps everything stand out of this background. So don't forget, if you enjoy the shape of a die cut but not necessarily the color, you can always use the reverse side of it as well. So here I go, I'm adding my third word with these alpha stickers, adding the word yum. And then I sort of figure, man, I've done it on 3 of them. Why don't I just go ahead and do it on the rest of them as well? So I'm going to use up an absolute ton of alphas on this layout. I'm adding meow on here for this meow. And then I'm going to add another word onto my 3x4 photo and the other 4x6 photo as well. So on the smaller 3x4 photo, I'm just adding those alphas just directly onto the photo, slightly overlapping that little die cut that I've placed on there already. And then I'm going to go back and add some of these tiny word stickers. Oh, they're so pretty, love this pink. I'm going to add some of these tiny word stickers to some of the other clusters already on the layout. So one on my photo of meow, and I'm adding one to my biscuit photo down the bottom, and then I added one to this 4x6 up here, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I contemplated leaving it, but I decided I can't have one photo that doesn't have words on it now, so I added the word now underneath the stamping that I've already added. So the issue that I have now with using up those alphas is I have used up the E's. There are no E's left, hence the word now, but it does mean that I'm going to struggle to use these alphas for my title card. So I'm popping these this pattern paper onto my white 4x6 card, and I'm echoing the 3x4 card that I've already used there. You can see this pattern on the back of this paper. That was just a scrap 4x6 card that I've had there, but I've left a little strip of white along the bottom of it. So it's just to kind of draw some sort of consistency with the things that I've already used on this layout. So again, the same thing to create the consistency. I'm creating a very tiny little cluster here. It's just one die cut and one label. The label I'm going to do my date stamping on, and the other little die cut is literally just to add a bit of texture and a bit of consistency on here. So I can't use the word week with these alphas, so I've just added the numbers, my week numbers, 37, and then I have grabbed the stamp set. Now the stamp set is called the Bailey alphabet, and it is an exact match for these alphas, a lot of the alphas actually that come in the Citrus Twist kits, which means it's handy for this sort of thing. It is slightly smaller than those puffy sticker alphas, but it works perfectly when you've run out of E's in a situation like that. So that is my title card. I'm adding a little enamel dot instead of my usual heart, and then I decided to add a couple more. And then I've realized I've used enamel dots on the title card and on my photo of meow. I need to add just a few more elsewhere, so I'm going to chuck some down on this coffee card and a couple up here, again just to create some consistency, and that's my spread all done. I love how this turned out, so bright, so colourful, and I love all those fun little teal words. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys!